Hey guys, so I wanted to take a few minutes and make a quick video about the X-Men trailer that we all saw with Doomsday, right? So this ain't really a theory video or like a breakdown video, well, kinda. I just want to have some nerd banter because as fellow Marvel fans and artists and things like that, I wanted to kind of touch on just us as fans getting back into Marvel, feeling like Marvel's getting its groove back, and I wanted to touch on some things. So I wanted to kind of break down the trailer frame by frame. So by now we've all seen the trailer. So I wanted to go over it and kind of break it down what I think where we are in the MCU and plus where I think we might be going in this movie. So we start out the movie with Charles Xavier. We hear Doom doing a narration, and as he's talking about something's coming. Now, of course, my brain went rabbit holing, thinking, okay, is he setting the stage for like Apocalypse later on because we're going to get X-Men after Secret Wars, or is he just saying like an incursion's coming, right? And it's going to just pretty much screw up everything. So you see a shot of Xavier, you see this burst in the sky. Now, I was thinking it could be one of two things. It could be an incursion happening that's affecting the X-Men timeline, or it could be Sentinels arriving, right? Which wipes out our whole Fox X-Men family. Then the trailer flips to a shot of Doom. He's on his knees. He's rising up. Now that could either be, because I look and I see there's ruins in the background, so it could either be he is at where the remains of the X-Men mansion was, or was a few minutes ago, or that's the aftermath of his fight with Thor confronting him, and pretty much he's unfazed, right? Then it shoots to the Fantastic Four walking off their ship, and I noticed that Thor's behind them, and look like this is where we get the meeting of the OG Avengers, where you got Bucky, you got Ant-Man, you got Sam Wilson, and then you have the new Avengers, aka the Thunderbolts. Now I remember at the end of Thunderbolts, they were saying that Sam Wilson had a problem with them calling themselves the Avengers because he was given the shield by Cap, and so you have that. Then you get into Thor narrating about he worked with monsters before and had people by his side that was very powerful and they died, and that he's now scared more than he was during the Thanos Infinity War era. So as he's saying that, we get a shot of Namor and we get a shot of his people looking out on the horizon. And I couldn't help but notice that as he's sitting on the throne, in the back shot, it's all desert. He's not underwater. And there's no desert in Wakanda because Wakanda's all green land and forests and you name it. So before we get the shot of showing the water repelled, it almost looks like their world has been kind of pushed out of the ocean, or the ocean has been pushed back and exposing their world, which could be part of the incursion, or it could be part of whatever Doom is saying that is coming, right? Or it could be even Doom himself that had caused that. Then it shoots to Thor lighting up Stormbreaker walking towards Doom in the shadow, in the background. So we know that this is the confrontation between Thor and Doom. Behind Thor, or around Thor, I kind of noticed that there's like huge metal remains. It almost looks like body parts and scorched parts of Sentinel body parts, right? So this could be the battle, which what we saw in the X-Men teaser when Cyclops was going optic blast and he's letting it loose and he's, leeching on the Sentinels, right? Now, whether Gambit, Mystique, and all of them are there, we don't know, right? Then it shoots to a shot of Cyclops kind of getting ready, coming out one of the back rooms. So this could either be when they know the Sentinels are arriving, or this could be when, like, the Thunderbolts, New Avengers, or Fantastic Four and Shang-Chi and them are showing up. So he hears intruders in the house, he's getting ready. Then it cuts to Gambit and Shang-Chi having their little face-off, kind of sizing each other up. So this could be, I'm not sure where this takes place. If I had to guess, I would think this is probably before the Sentinels showed up, or maybe after, if the mansion is still standing. Then it cuts to a shot of Loki with and a TVA card. Don't know if it's him holding a TVA card or if it's just someone holding a TVA card with his ID picture on it. Then it cuts to the desert again, out in Wakanda. But now you see the Wakandans, M'Baku, Shiri, all them meeting Sue, Thing, Johnny, all those guys out in the desert, and the water's repelled. And then it cuts to the new Avengers and the Fantastic Four in the mansion, being confronted by Mystique. And then she gets into it, turns into Yelena, and keeps it moving, right? Again, not sure exactly where that takes place. Just trying to piece together where I think the Russos are going with their mind, because I know a lot of times they like to show us one thing in the trailers and then it'd be a whole different thing in the movie, right? So sometimes you can't even believe their trailers because they're known for giving us fake scenes in the trailers. Then it cuts to Ant-Man saying goodbye to Cassie. It shows Johnny hugging Sue. They're having like a sibling moment. So either they're getting ready to say, hey, I'm leaving, I'm about to go into battle, saying goodbye to my loved ones. Then it shows the X-Men fighting with, well, so much Gambit jumping down and blasting the floor. And in the shot, you see Mystique in the background, you see Shang-Chi right there, and you see like the Fantastic Four scattered around as they're in this lobby. Again, not sure if this is before the Sentinels show up or after, right? Then it cuts to Sue Storm. She's using her powers in the desert to fend off something. So now I don't know if she's trying to use her powers to fend off whatever's keeping the water at bay, or if she's causing that. And then it cuts to Namor flying around Wakanda. Then you see the scene that made us all lose our mind, right? Thor's firing up Stormbreaker. He's doing the bring me Thanos moment from Infinity War in Wakanda, and he's coming down with the hammer. And then we see Doom stop it with his two fingers. Which reminds me of the other trailers. I feel like, you know, the Russo said it was clues with the 4 trailers that they dropped during the Avatar movie's release. So the Thor trailer mentions that he's in a forest and he's asking Odin and the Forefathers for more power. He said, give me the power of the Forefathers so I could fight one more enemy. Because he wants to get back to the child love that he adopted. So I'm thinking this is post confronting Doom. He fought Doom, didn't go well, ran with his tail tucked, and now he's going to the Forefathers and say, listen, I'm gonna need some more power, Odin. I'm gonna need that Odin power, because I need to be like on the level of the god of Asgard. You know, not just the sun and the air, but I need like that Odin power where it kept the 9 realms in check to face this dude, right? And then after that, in the main trailer, it cuts to him like almost like in a ship, right? And he sees somebody, he says it ain't possible, and it's Cap. Now, if you remember in the Cap trailer, it shows him showing up in a bike at an old house, which I'm assuming it was the house with Peggy. And then it cuts to a scene with him nursing a baby. We don't see the Cap with the beard. He's got the nice, smooth, clean face. I don't know if it's the same Cap or if we're dealing with 2 different Caps, because Cap went back and put all the stones back, which according to the Ancient One, she said it branches off timelines even if you put it back. So it could have caused a branch, a Nexus event according to TVA, or whatever, right? And then the trailer ends. So this is where I think we're kind of going into Doomsday, because if you go by Phase 4, it's been all over the place, right? We had the Marvels, we've had Eternals, we've had what else have we had? Shang-Chi, we've had Secret Invasion show, we had the Loki show, we had Agatha, we had WandaVision, we had Falcon and Winter Soldier. I mean, we had a lot of stuff bouncing around. If I had to base on where the Russos is trying to follow up Endgame, is Cap went back and put all the stones back. You know, we're dealing with the post-era, new Cap, Sam Wilson, Shang-Chi. Now, if you remember at the end of Shang-Chi, there was a beacon that went off, that the rings were sending a beacon. Now, this was during the time when we was building up to Kang the Conqueror, so I was assuming it's notifying Kang. Kang's got all this technology. Maybe he's tied to the rings. He is the man that travels through time, so if those are ancient rings, he would be associated with it. But they might retcon that and now do where somehow is tied to Doom or something, right? So I'm not sure how the 10 Rings and Doom, how the Russos are gonna make that some kind of, Shang-Chi's in here for a reason, so it's there's some connection, right? So we have that. So now we got the Fox X-Men, which I believe they're gonna wipe them out, just so when we get our X-Men in the MCU after Secret Wars, we get to probably have younger ones or just brand new X-Men. We'll have a new Wolverine, new Gambit, new Jean Grey, you name them, right? But I feel like Doom is warning us, so I don't know if he's necessarily an enemy. If you remember Rise of Silver Surfer, Fantastic Four treated him like an enemy, but he was actually coming to warn about Galactus. But the Fantastic Four fought him thinking he was the problem when it was actually a bigger problem. Yes, we got the space cloud, but you know what I mean. Same thing with the new Fantastic Four. The female Silver Surfer warned about there's another coming behind me. So I don't know if Doom's role in the MCU now is to let us know Apocalypse is coming, and then we somehow in Secret Wars have to work with him reluctantly because the enemy of your enemy is my friend. But I think we're going to be in a place where the X-Men either get wiped out by Sentinels or Doom. The band we have is kind of like how Avengers were in Infinity War, where Cap and Iron Man was divided, right? The enemy always comes when we're at our weakest. So Wakandans and Fantastic Four trying to figure out what's going on with Wakanda. It's bigger than earthquakes. I mean, the people, I forgot the name of Namor's people, but I mean, the city has been exposed. Then we have Cap. We're not sure which Cap we got. Loki is no longer sitting out in the outside of time, holding the lines together. So this is either another Loki variant because we had a ton of Lokis, or this is the Loki coming back for some odd reason. And then we have them ready to face Doom. I don't know. I'm just excited about the fact that like we're going into this kind of like we did with Endgame and Infinity War, where we have some answers, but we have more questions than answers. But either way, we're excited to watch it again. So I'm thinking that whatever's happening in Wakanda is going to draw the Fantastic Four over there to help. Obviously, they were also in the X-Men mansion, so obviously we're all in the same timeline, so to speak. And I don't know if it's an incursion happening or Doomsday is causing all these events with the water being repelled in Wakanda as well as the X-Men world being affected. We know Thor's asking for more power. And we're not sure what's going on with Cap. Now, him grabbing Mjolnir makes it seem like it's our Cap because only the worthy one can hold Mjolnir. So I'm curious to what y'all think. Now, I got some homework to do myself because I did collect comics back in the days. I watched all the Marvel movies, obviously. But I'm going to get caught up on John Hickman's Doom. Because I'm sure there's some clues in here, right? There's some clues in here. I'm going to go through this because just like before Infinity War and Endgame, I went out and grabbed the Infinity Gauntlet book and I grabbed the Infinity War just to get brushed up on where that story was going so I could get an idea where they're picking from the comics. But I also have another book I got to do because in another year or so, we'll be dealing with this. So, again, John Hickman. So after I get done with the Doom book, I'm jumping right into this to see where they're going with this. Because I know you can see they got Spidey there and all that. We still got that coming up too in another week. We got Spidey coming with the whole Man-Spider saga, and I believe that's the Hand. We got Punisher in there. So I'm not sure how he's going to tie into Secret Wars too. But I would love to hear your theories. Maybe some things in the trailer I missed that you might want to catch up on. And well, at least catch me up on, I should say. Some of y'all might have read the comics. You know, y'all might have read the John Hickman. And know some clues in here that I don't know. But like I said, I got some homework to do. I'm going to definitely get up on that. But I want to watch the trailer again with you guys, and just I don't know, just nerd out as Marvel fans, right? So I'm gonna cue it up, and maybe even watching it now, I might catch something you guys missed. So I'm gonna throw the trailer up in here at the end right now, and like I said, feel free in the comment sections. Let me know what you think. If you agree with some of the things I pointed out, or maybe you didn't even notice some of the things I pointed out in the trailer, and tell me what some of your theories are. Where you think that we're gonna start in the movie, and where you think we're gonna end going into Secret Wars. I feel like somehow, some weird way, the Russos are gonna make Doom an ally with us to face a bigger threat going into Secret Wars. But I think it makes sense to go the Apocalypse route. And the reason why I say that is because Kevin Feige said himself that right after Secret Wars we're getting the X-Men, right? So if you're gonna build up the next bad, and now your core team is gonna be the X-Men because you pretty much are shifting from the Avengers to the X-Men, it would make sense that your next Thanos would be Apocalypse, because the X-Men have never been able to beat this dude. So you know how many movies, how many things you can set up with a villain like that? So I feel like it would be more like Doom passing the baton to Apocalypse, and we ride with that story. You know what I'm saying? Because they know about each other. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, enough rambling. I'm gonna go throw the trailer on right now. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter. Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
Not really sure. I mean, there's always shots of these statues in this trailer, right? You got the new Avengers Tower. You also got to remember too, right? Doom is trying to collect children, because you got Franklin. Cap has a child, according to the trailers. Wakanda has T'Challa's son, and Thor has the child Love. So that's 4 powerful children. So if he's collecting children, powerful children, for a certain goal, it makes sense why all these people are in this trailer. I need to see Magneto and Charles Xavier. If we're gonna see the last of them, they gotta go out with a bang. I need to see Magneto wrecking shop. The OG Magneto, Professor Xavier, they deserved it, man. They deserved it. They put in the work. And shout out to Michael Fassbender too. He was a great young Magneto. I'm gonna lose it if he's in this shit too. Cause I noticed some names that they left off them chairs so they could break our brains in the theater. I'm ready, man. I know some people ain't as excited as before, like he was in 2018, 2019, but I'm excited, man. Feels good to feel like Marvel's kind of back on their stuff, man. Like, we've been lukewarm. There's been some movies we liked, some shows we liked, and it's kind of been up and down with our relationship with Marvel since Endgame. I mean, we got out to a strong start with WandaVision and Loki. We were crushing it. Ever since they kind of sidetracked and went from the Kane route, we don't know what we're building towards. So that's why I was really analyzing, looking at this trailer piece by piece to see, okay, where are we going now with the story? Because it's not like going to Infinity War. We kind of knew Thanos is coming to collect the stones. We in trouble. We don't really know what the threat is besides Doom himself. So, like I said, I'm gonna title this Nerd Banter. If my nerds show up, let's get into it. Let's talk about it, man. I need all my nerds to come out. Let's talk about it. I miss having healthy nerd debates and not so much debates, but even just getting excited and talking about this stuff, man, and just sharing our little geek out moments, you know. So yeah, so feel free to comment, like if you ain't subscribed. Definitely subscribe to the channel. I'm an artist. I draw. I do conventions and Comic Cons, and trailers like this make it hard for me because all I want to do is draw everything, right? But then you draw something, then you watch the movie and you're like, oh well, they went a whole different way than what I put together. But either way, it's all love. So, all right, guys, I did enough rambling. Have a good day, and see you at the theaters in December.